Kann ich so nicht feststellen.
Weihnachtsmann ab der Tür! Kommt, kommt, kommt!
Oh my gosh.
Schämt euch! Schämt euch! Schämt euch! Schämt euch! Unmöglich ist das! Schämt euch! Schämt euch!
Sorry, kids, Christmas is canceled this year as Santa was not wearing a mask in Germany. And imagine trying to explain this to your child being like, Mommy, what are they doing to Santa? Listen here, Billy, we're living in an ever-totalitarian state that prides itself on destroying human rights in exchange for the illusion of safety that really is a scam that benefits the multinational corporations and big banksters out there. Wake up, Billy, and welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings, here to wearechange.org. We got a lot of very important information to get into today, as of course there is a lot of utter ridiculousness being regurgitated by the corporate shills representing themselves as some kind of journalists, when in reality they do the bidding of the special interests. This larger con game is of course affecting more and more people, as we're going to be talking about in this video. But before jumping into our main topic, if the corporate media is not obfuscating the destruction of human rights, they're usually obfuscating the trafficking and hurting of children, as of course the corporate media for a very long time has been significantly underplaying and underreporting the horrible things that happen to children by very powerful people, even including taxpayer-funded CIA agents, CNN producers, and of course a lot of friends of the royal family. This, as we're finding out today, that MSNBC, ABC News, CBS News, NBC News all ignored a major bombshell story that came out that highlighted some absolutely awful behavior by a major CNN producer that these networks very oddly weren't talking about. This, as other media networks like ESPN are literally running fake propaganda stories that are meant to push the divide and conquer agenda, so you could see your fellow man as the enemy because of their trivial differences in DNA, rather than, of course, the true source of your problems, and that's you being screwed financially right now as we are going through one of the largest transfers of wealth in recorded human history, as the governments keep printing more money for their failed government programs, as they keep raising the debt limit, as they keep printing money. You, of course, are being robbed because of all those policies blindly. All, of course, as any dissenting voices against the narrative, against the larger agenda, against humanity is slowly and surely being eviscerated from the major communication highways on the internet. This, as Twitch just banned major left-wing streamers on their platform, the same streamers and content producers that previously called for more censorship and agreed with it when their political opponents were being censored by similar platforms. Now they're dealing with the brunt of what they cheered on for. And even though I definitely disagree with a lot of these people's political perspectives and opinions, I don't think they should be banned, but it is pretty ironic that they are. This, as of course the wide spectrum of what you're not allowed to talk about on big tech social media is ever expanding, as Twitter just announced new made-up rules and protocols that are absolutely Orwellian, 1984-like, and have no actual merit in reality, as there's also individuals saying that their accounts have been suspended on Twitter for sharing a clip from the Joe Rogan Experience when he recently interviewed Dr. Peter McCullough. The video of that interview was also uploaded by Peter McCullough on his official YouTube channel. That video was also taken down on YouTube. And as more speech keeps getting eviscerated, this is why we created, of course, LukeUncensored.com, our very own platform where soon users will be able to find other like-minded users in their specific areas. We have multiple online courses available to you for free on LukeUncensored.com, whether including Change Media University or Apocalypse Survival Training. Whatever you're interested in learning in, we most likely have a class for you to take on our own official online platform, LukeUncensored.com. If you haven't signed up yet, what are you waiting for? Click the link down in the description below and find out more right now. As of course, we're going to be doing yet another video later on today exclusively just for that platform alone, where we're going to be getting into some very spicy topics. Now, very surprisingly, Joe Biden just issued a coherent sentence, but it was a very incredulous one, as of course he addressed the nation, looked them in the eyes, and said, "What's the big deal with giving up your freedoms?" Specifically, describing it as patriotic to give up your freedoms to take a government procedure that benefits a multinational corporation, a part of Big Pharma, that has no liability for the procedure at all. Who's liable for it? Well, of course you are, as of course more and more people are extorted and manipulated to take it, like in New York City, where we're seeing videos of 5-year-olds forced to show their identification and medical records in order to be allowed into any indoor venues. This is a new policy just started today. You see it implemented right in front of your eyes. And of course, these policies are cheered on by many establishment statist PR representatives that are pretending to be journalists and pundits, like of course Jim Cramer, that just tweeted, quote, "Government has a right to force you to obey and has always exercised it, especially under the GOP," leaving a lot of people to respond with this "govern me harder, daddy" meme, which I think is appropriate for the context. This meme is also a popular response underneath this thread, but I think it's fair to say that we definitely crossed the Rubicon when the President of the United States, without even hiding it, without even being ashamed of it, comes out on national television and says, "What's the big deal with people not wanting their freedoms imposed upon?" And these people aren't even hiding it anymore, that eviscerating your freedoms, your liberties, your human rights is what they're going after. They used to do it in a coy way. Now they're just out in the open, brazen about it, as of course their policies have led to more segregation, more discrimination, less economic opportunities, more financial chaos, and an utter disruption of the global supply chain and global economy, as more people are losing their ability to live, their benefits, and their jobs. This as the supermarket giant Kroger's just announced that their employees will lose benefits if they don't comply with the whims of government. This as in the UK, the government there recently did a study on domestic passport systems and found no actual effect dealing with the sickness, and even instances that it would potentially make the sickness worse, just implemented a domestic passport system and an indoor mask order, all in the name of allegedly fighting a sickness, which we know now is all being done in the pretext of eliminating your freedoms. And some medical professionals would argue that these orders, mandates, restrictions, lockdowns are very effective at destroying human rights, a lot more so than effective at preventing any illness or sickness. They want you to give up your freedoms to a government that imprisons people that criticize it and whistle blow inside of it, and provide some much needed transparency and accountability, which has been outlawed in this country, as perfectly represented by the Julian Assange case and as perfectly represented by the January 6th committee hearings that are literally taking the text messages of their political opponents and releasing them publicly to the world, as we're even hearing about possible allegations of Democrat Adam Schiff doctoring and changing these text messages to fit their own political delusion. This according to the Federalist, and it actually wouldn't surprise me that this would be happening. Now, as the government keeps taking more and more from you, including raising your taxes, they call for more taxes, as Elizabeth Warren recently did, saying that the, quote, person of the year, Elon Musk, should actually pay taxes and stop freeloading off everyone else. And the 0.0001% Native American Senator Elizabeth Warren was responded to by Elon Musk saying, quote, "And if you opened your eyes for 2 seconds, you would realize I pay more taxes than any American in history this year." Going on and later saying, quote, "Don't spend it all at once. Oh, wait, you already did." offering her, of course, an absolute perfect rebuttal and backlash towards the ridiculous, nonsensical, and absolutely incorrect statements by Elizabeth Warren, who was later called Senator Karen by Elon Musk himself. Elon Musk, after also allegedly being one of the highest taxpayers in all of recorded American history, is also making a lot of important statements against the Build Back Better bill, against forced mandates on the American people, which he believes violates people's personal freedoms and liberties, which he actually talks about caring. But what's the government going to be doing with that money that, of course, it gets from everyone, that, of course, it siphons away from everyone's check? Well, they're going to be doing dangerous gain-of-function research in totally unsecure laboratories in Wuhan, and they're also going to be giving off massive government welfare to other multinational corporations, especially in big pharma, that are warning the world that they need to take more of their procedures, as they offer no scientific data towards that justification at all. Why do we need to take this? Where's the data? Where's the science? Where's the study showing that this actually works for this particular variant? Why do we need so many of these things that you sell to us? Why are most of this sold to us through the government, and then we're told it's free when it's not? Where else is your money going? Well, towards the military-industrial complex that just bombed and killed 10 innocent civilians, 7 children, all of course paid for by your tax dollars, with no one being held accountable for this larger atrocity. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling like I need a refund here because I'm not happy with where my money's going to. Are you? Is there any reason to justify a tax? Is there any reason to give your money to these people that literally redistribute it to their own personal friends, that create a service that has no incentive at actually doing a product or service that is actually good for you? Is there any reason for this? Well, that's the question I want to leave you with. Debate it down and below, because there are some people that argue, yes, we need taxes. We need to pay our fair share. If you believe that, let me know why in the comment section below. I appreciate your perspective. I appreciate your input. I might not always agree with you. I might not always like your snarky remarks, especially about my super pasty skin and other things, but that doesn't matter. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. I got another video coming your way on lukeuncensored.com. I hope to see you there. Stay tuned for more. I love you guys on wearechange.org.